Mars. Come and save your child. Baby Earth is reeling and wailing and needs your tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's eyes. Ooh, come save your child. Come save your child. I say come sisters. Come and take back your child. This great.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to.
Hello.
Hi, Eva.
Hello,
everybody. Welcome to GeesBeeCee Women with Words. We're here again another Thursday. We hope your week has gone well so fast. This week went by kind of quickly. It was a bit tumultuous and went back.
yes, it is. It was.
Yes, it is. It's been a huge shocker for us this week. But we want to welcome all of you. We want to make sure that you invite others to come and watch this show. We have a variety of things we're going to be talking today. I like to call her the Jika Liver Woman is here today. We will definitely be doing some Jika Liver talking today. But welcome everybody. Please share the show and invite somebody to join us this evening. Agatha is not here. She is off today. She has a lot to do. She is planning. She is the planner of 2023. She is planning for the official book launch of Mr. Rodney Sear. This is going to be happening on Saturday, April 1st in DC at the Gathering Spot. If you have not gotten your tickets, you're completely out of luck. GGG, the giant, the China German giant or whatever he is, will be there. And of course, Detour is going to be there. We're going to jump over it. So this is the first. The next one is going to be on April 22nd in Liberia. And of course, there's a whole array of Liberian artists, including MC Carol. I saw one today. There's a new song where she's in, and Agatha sent it to me and said, "But Allah." But Allah, that one, the other song is heavy. And I said that the thing I want to talk inside are people things. Anyway, folks, let me do the most important thing. I am Glendy Jane Jr. here this evening with
Eva.
Okay, Eva is here all in her red. But in a rather solemn mood, we like to talk about one of our members we lost this week, a friend, a sister. At the beginning of the week, we heard about the passing of Erica. Such a vibrant young woman, young children. I mean, she has worked so hard. She has accomplished a lot. About a month or two ago, she lost her dad. Taking care of her mom. It's just so many people that depended upon her, and she suddenly passed. I want us to talk a little bit about it's kind of difficult when death comes. It took me a few days to be able to even comprehend, and sometimes no one is able to comprehend and explain death when it comes, or how people react to death. But the sudden passing of Erica just impressed upon me that we all are going to go one day.
Yes.
And we don't know when. And one of the things that also impressed upon me was that we are custodians of our lives.
Yeah.
We don't own it. And when that time comes, there's nowhere we can say, I want to go or I don't want to go. So it's just tough. Eva, anything to add about this sudden passing and what it meant to you?
It's been a very hard week. I mean, since Friday, I've just, I'm usually on Facebook. I haven't really been on Facebook. I think today is the first day I've really posted anything. And to see somebody that you interact with all the time, and for them to just pass like that, and it's not like, okay, you're sick and you get a chance to say goodbye. But right now it's still a shock, but I'm coming to the realization that instead of being so sad and so heartbroken, but to celebrate her, to really celebrate her. She was a vibrant person. She was a go-getter. She would do anything for any and everybody. And it's time to put our arms around the family and just be there for them. And there's nothing we can do, but like you said, I call it like it's like a susu.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not my time, but it would be my time one day. But my heartfelt condolences to the family, everybody. It's just been a very, very tough week. But
yeah.
yeah.
Really, it's been really hard. And I know it was a shocker. Erica was somebody that almost everybody knew,
Mm,
everybody. And one of the things I recognize with her passing is that almost everybody said the same thing about her. She loved
yes.
people. She
Yes.
loved people. She loved being happy. She loved
Yes.
having a good time. She was very considerate. She was very, very respectful. Just every time you saw her, this is somebody who, this is how I even started talking about. I want us to talk. We are still waiting for our guest was on, and I saw her go off. She is in Liberia. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the trending topics or some things that we talk about, but we wanted to talk about, and to all of Erica's friends, her family, anybody who knew her, she just became a very special person to you. It's so hard for us to learn of her passing.
Mm,
And it's like we're both saying, we all will go someday. We don't know when we're gonna go. This life that has been given to us, we at a place have to ensure that we take care of the life that has been given to us.
oh yeah.
So to everybody connected to Erica from us here at GBC, we want to say we're so, so, so sorry. We will also be joining the family to do whatever we can to ensure that we participate in her homegoing.
Yeah.
So wanna bring our guest on. This is our guest for today, Miss Christiana Taylor of Eagles Landing Apartments Incorporated, Liberia. Welcome.
Hi. I am
Hello.
so excited to be here.
Hello.
Can you guys see me quite clearly?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
we can
I'm
see
going to
you. We
pray
can
that
see.
our lives remain stable tonight. Hallelujah.
Yes,
Those lights
Amen.
we can see you. We can see all your sexiness. Everything
Oh
about you. We can see.
yes. Giving cleavage tonight.
woman can't talk all. Woman can't talk
No,
all.
No,
no,
we can't.
but no, man can talk up, but woman can talk some.
Woman might talk small. Just
Come on.
small.
Welcome, Christiana. We're so
Thank you.
excited that
Thank
you could
you.
come and talk to us. For our audience watching, we want you to tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. I mean, I'm so excited on the things that we kind of narrowed down to be talking about this woman, this guest we have on here. If you don't know her, she has a wealth of knowledge. She's involved in so many things. So I would like for everybody, and then she's also going to be talking about one of Eva's favorite topic, traditional marriage. So so we're excited to hear. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Wait, before she
Okay.
starts,
Okay.
let me own her.
Okay.
Self Corsi, yeah.
Yeah, I got to miss this one.
Self Corsi, they want can own her. Okay,
Thank
go
God.
ahead, cause
Claim
I
it in
see
Jesus'
now.
name. Just Steaming.
Now I get where all the wahala coming from, because they're not small wahala you two got.
It's in our blood, it's in our genes.
They're not small
Yeah, in
wahala
our
you.
magical liver. It's in
Oh
our
yes.
genes. Our chica liver.
Yeah, Chica, well, let's go. Talk to us. Tell us who is this beautiful Christiana Taylor, what she does, and then we will get into the Chica Lewa topic. Yeah, don't worry, folks. We
We
will
will
go
get
there.
way down into the chica liver. Thank you
Okay.
guys first for inviting me on your platform. Just so you guys know, I'm one of your followers. I have interacted with one or two of you guys behind the scene, but we haven't met in real life, so I feel like I already know you guys. For
Yeah.
those of you who's watching or have never interacted with me, my name is Christiana Taylor. And what's kind of unique about me, I'm a tailor on both sides. Mom is a tailor from Arlington, dad is a tailor from Johnsonville. So I'm Taylor Square. Okay, so I am one of 12 siblings. I have 10 brothers, and I earned both my high school bachelor's, master's, and was working on my doctorate in the U.S. So I'm kind of caught up between both worlds, both the U.S. and Liberia. So I have been coming back and forth to Liberia since 2007. So I am what you call an Oreo cookie. So I'm kind of caught between both worlds, and I'm kind of glad because I'm able to apply myself on both end and apply one knowledge from one end to the other end. Besides what I do as an entrepreneur who has been doing real estate here since 2012, I have worked in the private sector. I've never worked in the public sector here in Liberia. I did work in the U.S. also, back and forth. I had the opportunity to have lecture at the University of Liberia between 2008 all the way to 2013 in the management department. I'm also a little involved with talent management, talent scouting, the Liberian entertainment industry, a little bit of humanitarian work. I'm very passionate about the blind kids, the homeless kids. So it's a little bit of everything, but I do. But that's Christine.
Okay. Thank you. That says a lot. When I want us to start talking first about your how did you get to be interested in wanting to becoming a lecturer or an instructor at the University of Liberia?
When I started first came back home, it was 2007, and ironically, I had taken an interview. I had applied at the UNDP. We were about hundreds of people. I came in the top 100, the top 50, the top 10, the
Wow.
top, yeah. And I was told I had to come back to Liberia for the interview. I didn't get the job. No, I did not. So I was kind of discouraged and I said, geez, I've already decided that, I've paid my dues. I want some change. I've left the US. So you know what? I've made up my mind. I'm going to be here. So I have to find something to do. So I went to the UL at the time. My father had a friend called Dr. Pega, Sami Pega. I think he was one of the deans there. And he said,
Mhm.
why don't you just come and do some work here at the University of Liberia? Just come and volunteer. And I said, okay, that's not a bad idea. So I started there as a volunteer, no pay, no salary. Well,
Wow.
um, I started there just as an adjunct. I would come like teach one class, and then it went to two, and then it went to three, and then it went on for 7 years plus at the University of Liberia. I think that's one of my fondest accomplishment because
Mhm.
one of the reasons why you see I'm so grounded here is because I have had some of the most amazing students. My students here, they are managers, they are executives, they are CEOs, they are head of major corporations, they are police directors. It is amazing. It's amazing. I had the opportunity to have so many of these people sit under the sound of my voice. It wasn't as easy as I'm making it sound, because I remember my first day at the University of Liberia as a lecturer. I sat at the back of the class. I was much more skinnier, really, really dry. And I sat at the back of the class. And when the students started pouring in, and I said, okay, guys, my series will take at a time. And I said, okay, guys, class has started. And they said, oh, sit down, man, you get before you know, waiting for the teacher. So I said, this is oh man, you TA, you TA. I said, no, really. I'm the oh man, you can't go sit down when I am for joke. I said, really, I am the lecturer. So I got on the board, I wrote my name, and they still thought it was a prank. And they started laughing. And I said, no, really, I'm the teacher. They said, oh man, and then they eventually got it. But what was so amazing about my experience there, I really loved my student. I love being there. They were so used to the system we have in Liberia, where the person who's lecturing comes in and everybody feels, then you know you're a tough professor. I mean, you're a tough teacher, and everybody can feel, oh, I'm so tough. So I kind of incorporated a little bit of all of what I've learned in the U.S. educational system, that you don't have to fail for me to feel that I know my stuff. If my students are failing, it's a reflection of me not knowing my material. So I did not take pride in seeing everybody fail to see that I'm tough. What I wanted from my students is that you have a takeaway. I don't care if you don't understand all of the material, but you should have a takeaway from that course for that semester. So what the first thing I would do, LU has a culture of where students buy pamphlets. We didn't have textbooks. There are no standard textbooks in LU. So I can be teaching management HR, human resources management 101, section 1. Someone else can be teaching section 2. Someone else teaching section 3. If you miss my class, you're not able to sit in the next person's class and just pick up from where I left off, because every lecturer has their own course material they're using. Okay. And what was so confusing is these were not recent texts. These are texts from like 1847. You got somebody using the book that was published in 1980, somebody using the book that is published in 1995, somebody using the book that is and I'm sitting there like, okay, so I'm used to going to the Library of Congress, going online, getting material, so it was coming. It was a struggle for me. It was a struggle, but I love it. I love it, and I miss my students. I love it. And when I look back, I said, dang, I wasn't so social back then. I wasn't so out there. I was so reserved. I wonder what it's going to be like. I'm all over TikTok. I'm all over Facebook. Lord Jesus, if I get back into the classroom, I don't know how that's going to work. But it was a really, really blessed experience at the UL. I remember there were some times where the students would decide that they had to have a riot, or there would be no classes. You were in there teaching, and those students will open the door and they say, Christine, we let you because you are working, because you can't take money for, or you get and check your slow and just go outside, no class today. Yeah, just get your car. I love my LU students. They be there. Christine, you want to work and I know your series plenty. Check it outside here, mom, because I'm in America. We say no school today, get outside. Because I didn't get it that when the students say no school, no classes, no classes. So basically, we're at the point where the students were almost dictating to administration what's supposed to happen. It's even worse now than it was before. Yeah. And do I miss the classroom at LU? Yes, I do. But I don't see myself sitting in the environment at LU now. It's a little bit too volatile. It was bad then, but it's even worse now. It's even worse. Some of the things I had to struggle with being there at the UL. You turn your grades in, somebody got an F, you go back to check, that person got an A and a B or a B. And you're like, that's not what I turned in. She didn't do her work. She got an F, she got a B, she got an incomplete. So that was another thing that it was a struggle.
Mm.
So since I figured out that there are some things in the system you can't change,
Yeah.
I change how the system responds to me. So what I started doing at the UL, when it got to the midterms, I will calculate my students' grades and I would tell them where to stand. And I said, look, I'm not about people failing or whatever. I want you to understand the material. So from your grades in midterm, you're not going to make it. So you need to come and get extra work so that you can make it. But even at that, most people didn't make it. And I
Yeah.
just had a policy that right after we take midterms, don't call my phone. Don't call my phone. Don't come to look for me. Don't do any of that. But
Amazing.
other than that, um, it's a very good environment to be in there. You meet some very wonderful people. Most of my students back there were very mature people because those were back in the time when people were staying at LU for 10 years, 15 years. So I had professionals, semi-professional heads of corporation sitting in my class. I even have some of your current senators in my class. So
Wow.
it's been quite a rewarding experience. And I meet my students every day of my life. I'm talking about things like the real estate tax people show up. And then they say, you haven't paid your taxes and you're late. And so we're gonna like again. I said, no, 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 hold on. And I call, it's always one of my students who's the head of some kind of thing, one of my students who's heading the court, one of my students. So that's why what most people don't understand that part of it. I mean, they say, oh, you say connected. No, it's not because I'm network or connected because I worked in governmental position. It's because I served and I
Thank
taught.
you.
And
Yeah.
I was able to meet all these wonderful people, and they are in positions of authority. So I'm
Thank,
just reaping what I sowed. That's all it is.
thank you. Amazing. That's a great insight for us into LU, the system then and the system now. And I like that you talk a little bit about the rioting. I mean, even when I was in LU, the rioting part, it continues from way back
Wow.
then, way
Oh
back
wow.
then. People will start and people will have to run down the rocks in Jalatan. But it's an amazing thing to hear that you leave from here. I think it's fulfilling that you leave from here after your many years and your schooling and your experience, and you can go back. And I want to say thank you for what you've done, because to say you're leaving here, you're making money, and then you decide to go Liberia and do whatever you wanted to do, but you decide to volunteer to teach at the university for free. So thank you for doing
Yeah,
that. Any
after a
questions?
while they started paying me. After about
Okay.
2 or 3 years, I started seeing the paycheck, right?
The
They started
paycheck.
paying, yeah, I started seeing the
The
paycheck.
paycheck.
Sorry, I'm not interrupting, but let me just one thing I didn't mention. I was at two institutions of higher learning simultaneously. I was teaching at the UA and I was working at the African Methodist Episcopal University. I was there for 8 years as the VP of Finance. I was a controller
Wow.
because I have an MBA in
My
finance.
chica liver.
My chica labor.
My chica liver. The woman and that
So
y'all see
I
the
was
woman passing
working at
Ryan and
one
that
and
small woman
teaching at
here.
another one.
No. Mm-mm.
See the woman passing on Ryan, causing trouble, and that small woman here.
You know,
Amazing.
to tell you the truth, Glennis, I think I like the me now. You know how you are that person that's under so much pressure because everybody thinks that you should always be excellent, you should
Yes.
be successful. I was always under a lot of pressure. For a long time, I was always the only girl for my dad. And I've always been a dad person. And for my dad, the sky was the limit for me. My
Wow.
dad, even I started doing a doctorate or PhD. Like my dad said, okay, next, you know. So when I look back then and I look now, I like how I have just liberated
Live more.
myself
Yes.
and I
Yes.
Mhm.
can be myself and be this fun person. Everything about me was just so serious. You gotta be successful. You gotta make it. You are this one. And I was like, ooh.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
only started to let out and take a deep breath when I lost my father June 5th of 2019.
Mhm.
And I
Wow.
sat back and said, look, I don't care how smart you are, I don't care how much education you're gonna die one day. And you're gonna look back and say, I never had a chance to enjoy life. So I'm all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Eva,
it.
any question? Any question on the LU before we go to the next?
No. Go ahead.
So amazing. Thank you. Thank you for all your work with the university. As an alumni of the university, I'm extremely proud of the assistance you provided and the fact that you're still in connection with your students. So that's a
Yes.
good thing. Want to go talk to about the business aspect. We know that you're an entrepreneur. You have your own business. You have your apartment business. But want to talk about first. Want to go into. I'm here. I don't have the money. I want to be able to start a business in Liberia. Tell us about how do I go to the bank to get a loan? Because I don't want people to think, I don't want us thinking that, oh, if you don't have the money and you have property in Liberia, you can't start a
Correct.
business. So talk a little
Correct.
bit to us about getting a loan in Liberia, starting a business, or starting a business and asking for a loan. So how does
Alone.
that work? Yeah.
Okay, it's great you brought that up because I am a recipient. This is my fourth loan in Liberia. I
Wow.
paid up the last three, so I've never defaulted on any. This is the fourth one. And I just took the last loan in May of 2022, last year. So
Wow.
I should be done paying that one by December of 2023. Um, I know a lot of people say, oh, there are no loans in Liberia. There are loans in Liberia. Um, the first thing is you first say about starting a business in Liberia. It's gonna be hard to, when you're a business person and you are an investor or you're an entrepreneur, they teach you about OPM, other people's money, right? But here
Mhm,
in Liberia, to get other people's money, you got to have collateral for them to trust you with their money, right?
mhm,
So most people watch and say, but how can I get a loan? The first thing you guys need to do, whenever you come back home, instead of always just using cash and holding your money from the States and using your overseas ATM card, walk to international bank. I always say international bank because I've been with them for 12 years. I've been with International Bank IB for 12 years. I've taken full loans from them. Okay. So I can speak from that standpoint of international bank. But you can go to any bank of your choice, open an account, a checking account, a saving account, or both. Because you got to start building the relationship and the history with the bank. They got to start seeing activity on that account. Withdrawal, deposit, just like the US. That's the first step. You got to have a relationship with the bank. Most banks here in Liberia, you can't just walk off the street and go to them and say, I want a loan. The first thing they're gonna say, do you have an account? Open one up with us, deposit money, give it 6 months, give it 3 months, give it 1 year. We need to see activity. So the first thing you guys do when you're coming home, establish an account. I highly recommend International Bank, IB. The reason why, because besides me being with them for 12 years, they're the only other bank that is not a Nigerian bank.
mhm,
90% of our banks here are Nigerian banks. Not that I say anything's wrong with it, but you know us. That's from the US. We always want something with ties to the US. And that's why I'm comfortable with IB. Okay.
mhm,
So the first thing you do, you establish your account, checking, savings, whatever it is. That's one. Start doing activity. Two, if you want to get a loan, all of the loans in Liberia are secure. That means you have to give something to get the money, whether it be your house, your property, your business, especially if you have commercial property that brings in revenue. They want to see that. They want to see your revenue source. If you're not employed in Liberia and you only have the business here, then they want to see how your money come, and that's where the bank account come in. So even if you made $10 from your business, deposit. You made $20, deposit. Let there be activity. So when you go for that loan, number one, the property you are using, make sure it's for you. It has to have your name on it. It can't be a deed that has two, three, four, five people join. That means everybody else has to come in. Then it's a joint loan. Make sure it's your deed. It's your property. And if it's not your property, but it's somebody else's, that means you have to have administrative rights. You have to have power of attorney. that shows that you have the power to take that property and use it as a collateral. But you can get a loan here. You have to have an account. You have to have collateral.
Amazing.
It's
Amazing.
just as easy as that. And when you take the loan, please pay the loan, because Liberia has established, just like the US, central bank is the federal bank here, just like the US. Just how you have TransUnion and all the other credit bureaus. Central bank acts as the central point for where all of your credit history goes to. So when you take a loan from one of the banks here, they report back to central bank that you paid, your credit worthy, or you defaulted, so it goes there.
Amazing.
Right. So if you don't pay international bank the loan and you default, and you go to EcoBank to apply for a loan, they always go to central bank
To check
to
your
check
credit.
on you, to check your credit. So we may not have here the sophistication of your TransUnion score, your FICO score, but we have central bank. And trust me, central bank keeps a detailed history of your credit worthiness. Here they call it credit worthiness because we don't have FICO scores.
Wow.
So they will
That's
follow
amazing.
through. Yes, so
That's
they will
what
follow
that,
through. One of the reasons most Liberians, before I go to other Liberians, let me talk about myself. I've had loans. I think it must have been my second loan with International Bank. And things went really slow with my business. Really bad. Like it wasn't in real estate season, and the funds weren't coming like that. And my loan did go behind. It went behind like 2 months, 3 months. They did not come and seize my property. Okay, they didn't come and say, "Okay, to the bank, we're taking your property." No, what they do, just like the U.S., they have a collection unit. They call, "What's going on with your loan, Christine? You always been a customer of us. What's the problem?" And I say, "Oh, I can't make the payment, business slow, da, da, da." And they say, "Okay, come in, we will restructure the loan." So what they do, if I was paying 400, they restructure the loan, they extend the payment time, and they drop the monthly payment.
amazing.
Okay.
So all of those resources are available here in Liberia. But let me be honest, girlfriend, we Liberians, especially the Liberians that are here, they don't believe that a loan is a debt and it must be paid.
Spoil it for everybody.
It's important for everybody. I think this is good. Let me just segue here. If you're just joining us, this is GBC Women with Words. We have Miss Christiana D. Taylor on. Chica Liver is here tonight, and
My
we have
chica
learned
liver.
my Chica Liver. We have
My
learned
chica
a
liver.
lot. Learned that this woman here taught at the university, was VP at the African Methodist
Episcopal
University.
University.
Episcopal University.
The
And now
controller, which
the
is the VP of
controller,
planning.
finance woman. And now
Financial controller, yeah.
she's talking to us about getting a loan. It's possible. You can get a loan in Liberia. You have to put a collateral down, like you own a house. That house has to be in your name. And then also you have to pay it back. You have to
pay it back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about you leaving the States and going and starting your I have a few pictures that are downloaded. Let me show the pictures first of inside your apartment complex, and then you can talk to us about your business and how you decided to do that.
Okay.
So some really pretty pictures. Here, this is where the living room or part of a sitting area. This was my favorite, the bedroom. I love the bed.
all king size beds.
Yes, pretty. This is another living area. I like this. See how this place is spotless.
Mm-hmm.
Spotless, sparkling clean.
Yes.
And this is my favorite. It just looks so I like when I saw the pictures of Eagles Landing. I like it because it is earth tone. And
Correct.
that's my favorite color, earth
Correct.
tone. You cannot go wrong
Correct.
with earth tone color. So those are the colors and the things that really attracted me to Eagles Landing, and how it is being preserved. So tell us a little bit about your business. Folks,
Okay.
we do have the website pinned on the live feed if you want to go there and check it out. If you're going to, this is a Liberian owned business. If you're going
Right.
to Liberia, you can get in contact with Christine, rent an apartment for the time you will be there. Don't always do hotels and stuff. Don't
No.
always say, oh, I'm gonna go to maybe 5-star, whatever. I mean, not 5-star, but everybody wants to go to Royal, but there are also other neat places that you can go to. Let's try to see what we can do to
Right.
promote Liberian small business owners in Liberia.
Right.
So tell us about your business.
Okay. Eagles Landing Apartments was completed in 2012, so it makes me 11 year this year in real estate. When I decided to invest at the time, the UN was still in Liberia. They were renting everybody homes. Those are the times when people used to pay 1 year straight down for an apartment, 2 years. The UN was pouring in money. They had the money to spend. But unfortunately for me, where I bought my land, there was a cutter point 10 minutes down the street that the UN could not cross because it was considered a safe zone. So I never benefited from the UN money. And I sat there and I first did my market analysis. And I wasn't just looking at today, I was looking at the future. At the time, there were no concept of Airbnbs. Airbnbs did not exist. But there was a thing in the US, Glenn, I don't know if you remember what they used to call timeshare,
Yes.
where people buy into vacation homes and you go different.
Yes.
Okay. And I knew about timeshare because during my time in college, I was a timeshare agent. I used to sell timeshares. Okay. So I came to Liberia with the timeshare concept. There were no Airbnbs. There were no furnished apartments for short-term and long-term. But I said, I want to build something here that's like the US, where when you come, you are not stuck in the room, but you can come at different times of the year. You can have a whole apartment and it's affordable. Okay. So that was the concept in my mind. And so when I started building, people said, those things don't work here. We don't have those in Liberia. Who will want to come in an apartment for 1 week or 2 weeks? Okay. But I wasn't looking at today. I was looking at now. Okay. So then I started doing Eagles Landing Apartments, and it was completed in 2012. So the concept was home away from home. That was my first motto when I started back then. The idea was it's affordable. You have your space. You don't have to pay a lot to sleep, but then you're not stuck in the one-room place. So that's the concept with Eagles Landing. So, but what I also did, I imagine it being me. If I were to go somewhere, what do I want to see if I want to go rent a place? I want my microwave, I want my coffee maker, I want my rice cooker, I want my stove, I want paintings on the wall. So I personalize the feel at home feeling at Eagles Landing. It's not the regular apartment where the chair is sitting at the table. You will see paintings, you will see carvings, you will see your little table runners, your little play set, your little this, that. So what draws people also is that feel that when you walk in the field, oh my God, there's a painting on the wall, there's a carving here. And I made it Afrocentric. So there's not a lot of European paintings. You see a lot of African artwork, even on the walls, on the building. It's nothing but African artwork, masks, and this, and the African village. And so it's a lot of the culture that I also pull into Eagles Landing. So here I am 11 years later.
Wow, that's amazing. So I know you talk about when we talk about the loan, you talk about how at one point in time in business it was a bit difficult, things were challenging, but you decided not to give up.
Correct.
I want you to talk a little bit about that because there may be one or two people who think now the way you're talking and say, oh, things are easy and jump into it, and it's like, oh, this is not working, and then they turn their back on it.
It's not easy. It's not easy, especially for the industry that I'm in, which is real estate. There are so many of our foreign friends with buku dollars They can put up a building in less than 3 months in Liberia.
Oh
Okay,
yes.
and that building is gone. They get loans because when they get the loans, they pay back. They can get thousands of dollars, almost billions of dollars in loan. Okay, and the industry I'm in, there are not too many women in real estate in Liberia.
Oh yes.
When I say in real estate, I mean you build, you furnish, you manage. Most women who may have an apartment or two, either they inherited it or but women who build it block for block, like I did, I built it from the ground up. This was an
Wow.
empty land. Okay, so I didn't inherit this. I built it when I came here. There was nothing on this land. This land was a dump site. It's like where people choose stuff. And I built this. And trust me, I had to learn really quick. I had to go to work in the morning at the AME University, go to work, come here in the middle to check on my project. After here, then I go and teach to the UL in the evening. So no, it wasn't easy. I had to work. I had to learn the construction jargons. I had to learn how to cuss like a damn sailor because I had to stay on. I don't think I had to learn that because it was just there. It was just hyphenating. I resurrected it. Okay, I just resurrected it. So
Yes.
yeah. But when you have to do business here, especially the business I'm in, you better learn fast.
Oh yes.
Because if you don't learn, honey, they will take you, they will dog walk you. You will lose everything you got. Because people will cheat you, they will lie, they will scam. Trust me, when you get on this ground, you better learn to wear a lot of hats and you better hit the ground running. Because nobody's here to babysit you. Glennis, I'm talking about me coming on the construction site, me hiring engineers, and they expecting a big fat woman or a Lebanese man who, and I walk on and say,
when you come in.
yeah, and they said that who's that? I said, I'm the
I'm the
one you're
owner.
working for. You know, and you got to basically stand there and earn your respect
Yes.
because they're not gonna hand it to you. Because you got to understand in this society, some people think that a woman has a place.
Yes. Put you in that box.
You put you in that box. A woman doesn't come on a construction site in the morning with her high heel shoe on the way to the work, take out the damn high heel shoe and start climbing the damn ladder to see what's on top of her building. That's not what this society sees.
Amazing. Eva, any questions?
I mean, you're answering most of them. So fast forward to now. What do you see in the future with Eagles Landing or with any other adventures or endeavors that you're trying to?
I see expanding. One of the things that has been my greatest disappointment. I started another building with 20 units. Besides the 8 I have now, the 8 buildings I have now, I started one with 20 more, and I haven't finished it. So that's my dream, to finish my other buildings. But if I had to venture into another form of investment, I won't be doing what I did now, the Airbnb, at the level that I did it at. I will venture into something else. For those of you listening to me and you want to invest here, not everybody can invest in real estate. Not everybody should invest in real estate. There are a lot of other different things you can invest in. But one thing I can tell you, real estate here pays. The property values in Liberia is amazing how it goes up. And not only that, if you guys don't start securing lands, it's at the point that from Broad Street straight through to town all the way to Marshall, you can almost don't find no front end or prime property any longer. It is gone. My land that I paid for $10,000 for a lot is worth almost $90,000 a lot now. in Liberia.
Hmm.
Okay. The last time I called the people to value my property, that was last year because the government is doing the road construction and my property falls within it. So part of it is getting demolished. So I had to come and have the people do a whole valuation of my property. My property has gone up to 1.2 mil, the
Wow.
value of it, US dollars. So not everybody can invest in real estate, not everybody should. But let me tell you some of the things that real estate wise, I just had to stick to the area where I know of. We have no event halls here. We have no large indoor venues where you can have things, especially during rainy season time. That's why you see all of our event is dry season. Most of the time you see artists on the beach. Most of the time you see everything is because once it starts to rain, the only other place we had to go was SKD Sports Complex.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we kind of got in problem as a country with FIFA to say, y'all don't qualify. They condemn SKD because everything was at SKD.
Yeah, it was
Graduation SKD.
overused.
Wedding SKD. What SKD. Third one SKD. And then ministerial complex, which cannot accommodate every kind of event.
No.
If you have the kind of money to invest, please, just like we have event centers in the States, somebody needs to invest into indoor event centers that can hold at least 500 people,
Convention
1,000
center.
people.
Yep.
Yes, we don't have that. We
Hmm.
don't. We don't have that at all. You can't even find it. Another thing, there are no suitable indoor playground for children. There's nothing here for children. There's no skating rink. There's nothing for
Swimming.
children.
Mm.
There's nothing that caters to children that is indoor like a fun park, like a whitewater park. We don't have it. I'm not talking about Limbasa and Patawi. That one is for everybody. I'm talking about for kids. To say,
Yes.
okay, today I'm bringing my kids. This is what. There's nothing. We don't even have movie theaters for kids. A lot of the young kids here are just exposed to African movie. This or that is not censored. They are looking at things they shouldn't be looking at.
Exactly.
So,
Hmm.
if you're an investor out there in the diaspora, you're listening to me, please, real estate, land, it sells. You never lose. You never ever lose with it. Look at the China, the Mall of China that I went live last week.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me why a Liberian couldn't do that?
Hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
It reminded me of being in Sam's Club or somewhere right back in the States or a super Walmart.
Yeah.
But it's not owned by Liberians.
Yeah, there's so much that we can do, and sometimes
There's
we
so
don't have
much.
so much that can be done. And sometimes I think one of the things, I think this is such a positive interview, because you're really, it's an eye opener for a lot of people with the things that you're telling us. Sometimes people have gotten involved and they've been duped once or twice, and they don't want to get involved in it. But to hear you say, so I know when I first got connected to you, I remember you used to encourage people that if they wanted to purchase land or if they wanted to do stuff, they could easily go through you. I want to ask you because it's almost like you are a sales agent for International Bank. And I
Oh,
want I want to commit myself. If I wanted to open an account with International Bank and I want to commit to doing that, can I go through you to help me open an account in International Bank?
most definitely, because once you go through me, what I will do, and most people have come through me, I always connect them with an accounts manager at IB that will
Okay.
get you through the process and get everything going. Now,
Okay.
you can open an account in your absence, but you
Okay.
can't do activity until you come and present the proper IDs, just like the US.
Okay.
Okay, you
So
can open.
what would be the amount? What is there a limited amount? Can you
I
open it with
think the
$5?
minimum amount to open an account in Liberia, I think it's like $25 or something like
Okay.
that.
All
So
right.
just about the minimum amount.
All right.
And let me tell you about IB. You can transfer money from your U.S. account to your Liberian account, from your Liberian account to your U.S. account, and it's all done within 24 hours.
Absolutely. That's amazing. So
You can just
I'm gonna find my $25 and connect with you, because you've just spoken so highly about them that I want to. And I mean, we've talked. You and I have spoken about some things outside of here, but it's almost
right,
like if you want to be able to get a loan from a bank in Liberia and you're looking at getting it within the next year or 2 years, then what Christiana told me was you need to start having some traction, like opening an account and start having some stuff done there, because it's like if you want to do business, I don't have the money to do business in Liberia, but
right.
it's possible that if I have a home there that's my name is on, it's possible that I can get a loan, but they have to see that yes, I am somehow invested in them. We've learned a lot. We're almost at the last mark, but we want to talk about let's leave the marriage topic for last, the traditional marriage. Let's talk a little bit now about owning property in Liberia. Owning property in Liberia, because so many people have been broken. So many people send money to so many people, and like I said, the first thing that attracted me to you was you encouraging people, if you want to buy land or you want to do this or you want to rent this or whatever, you avail yourself to the
Mhm.
public to be able to work through you. So tell us about that.
Okay, for people who just starting from the bare minimum and you're just trying to acquire that piece of land, don't let nobody fool you. Like I was saying, all the way up from Ducal. You remember Ducal way all the way up the hill?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coming straight through to town, coming through Mama Point, riding through Topon Boulevard, coming all the way to EAW Junction, going all the, you will barely find a front end lane. If you do, you're lucky. You're lucky. Because like I said, the city and the land thing is going by there. We started buying land now in Kirisburg and Kakata. Marshall, I used to seem so far, you can't even find land no more. You can barely find land. So if you find land in Liberia, you can almost tell that that person not the land owner because they always put you in rush.
Hmm.
You better make everybody land because everybody want their land or just stop it right now. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. And especially when you ask them, can I see a copy of the mother deed? Because if I own, like my property, I have my deed. I have the mother deed. I should be able to show it to you to say, oh, yes, the deed. Yes, my name on it. This is the property. But when they start saying, oh, just know that it's a red flag. Because most people that are overseas, they entrust people here as caretakers on the land.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the same people who come and start to sell
To
the
sell it.
land to other people. And when you as a buyer buy it from the wrong person and you don't ask the hard question and do your research, the law is not going to side with you. Honey, you will lose your money and even your structure if you put it on somebody's land and they sue you. So if you have to go and buy a piece of land, always ask them for a photocopy of the original deed. When they give, even if they don't give it to you, they can, because most people don't like to give their deed or even copies. People will take a copy and go and duplicate it. So most of us who own deeds, we don't just say, oh yes, a copy of my deed. But that person can accompany you with a copy if they don't want to give you a copy. You go to the archive. The archive has record of every deed and land in the country. Go and research that deed to make sure that the deed is clear, who owns it, how many people have owned it. Go to the archive. Then secondly, go to the land authority. There was a time where land issue was such a big case in Liberia that people chopping people fighting, and the government looked into it and said, look, if we don't correct this, the next civil war will be about land. So they opened a special commission called the Land Commission, strictly for land. That's all it does. They took all of the surveyors and put them under the Land Commission. So now somebody can take the surveyor. All you got to do, call the Land Commission, ask them for their, because they are recertified yearly by the Land Commission. So you can always call there, go and research if that person is still a real surveyor, if they are, they have been recertified, whatever, if they're not gonna deal with them. So when you have that deed, you use the archive, you use the land authority, and you research that deed. Trust me, everything you know about that land, you will get it between those two agencies. Okay, you will get it between those two. But never ever just go and buy a land, pay for it, and go running with a deed. Because even when the deed looks legit, it may not be.
Oh,
So
yes.
never skip the archive, never skip the land authority when you are buying land. So you got to go with those two before
All
you do
right.
anything.
We've learned a whole lot,
Oh,
a
yes.
whole lot. Thank you so
Sorry, may
very
I
much.
just add, if you have your land also, because I know a couple of people reach out to me and say, oh, the people on my land, but when I go there, the people can bring their colors and I'm scared, and the people say they will wish me, and the people say they will do this. Okay. So let me tell you why. Because when my father died in 2019, and we started to find all of his lands everywhere, people were, even his properties, we still got some of his property with people building all on it. But the reason why we're not going out fighting and chopping, because the law says when you have your vacant land and people are on your land, you must notify them through the courts once every 10 years. Once I've notified you once in 10 years and that notice is given to you, you know it's my land, it's not your land. So if I notify you once in 10 years and you continue to build, I will sit back and let you build. I'm not going to go with it. I will let you build because you've already been notified that you're not the owner, that I'm the owner, that you should stop building, and you continue. I think when most people make the mistake, they notify these people, but they still want to go there. You can't do the work of the courts. If the court have told the person don't build this and they continue to build, you don't go there to start an altercation. Just get your lawyer, sit back, work through the courts, let them build. You will end up owning land and houses. It's just that simple.
Yep. My auntie, she just called me the other day. She had a similar case like that. They kept building on her land. She notified
Correct.
them. She went through the
Correct.
courts, and whatever was on the land, it was awarded to her.
Correct. It's that simple. I think when more people make it complicated, they go because they went there, the people came at them, so they get their own group with their collectors, and the other people get their group, and you're going at it. You don't have to. Just use the court. It may be slow, but landowners, the genuine landowners, always get their land back.
Yeah.
So
Because whatever is
if somebody's watching you, and that's my dad have a lot of stuff there, and I haven't even had the time to do it. But if somebody watching you and they hear they don't have family back home that they can trust, and they wanted to research their family properties, that's something that you would be interested in helping them with.
I do that now for people a lot.
Okay.
But
Is there,
because
and please tell us there's a fee.
there is a fee. My chica lewa, there's a fee. You see my cousin laughing because she know we don't tell you work here for woman can talk all.
Woman get
Woman can talk. See my cousin know herself, so she laughing.
you know that why she ain't talking anything.
Woman can talk all. But
Yeah.
one thing I always do is because my father worked so long here in the legal system. He was an attorney here. He was a counselor up to the point of the Supreme Court. He has his own law firm. So I know a lot of the legal community here. So one of the things I always do, because I'm not a lawyer, I may have most of the information, but I always refer people to lawyers that I know, that I've dealt with, that I know have integrity. I always refer them to lawyers because most of these things, you must always have a lawyer in the mix.
And you said the key word, lawyer with integrity.
Integrity.
Ooh.
Yes.
With integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with
All
integrity.
righty. Woo, we've learned a lot, Christine. We've learned a whole lot. We gotta really find another time for you to come back because we want to go
I'm
into
available. Trust
want to
me,
go into,
Glennis,
we want
I'm
to,
usually on people live TikTok video. They would tag me to come talk about the same thing. So I get tagged everywhere. But you
yeah.
know what's so interesting, Glenda, in my dear beautiful cause in the red,
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I would sit here, I would tell these people these things for free. And these are things knowledge people pay for
Yes.
in other parts of the world. I would
Yes.
avail myself to people. Let me tell you why I feel that I have to do this. I know the struggle I went through transitioning from the diaspora to Liberia. It was tough. I had to learn the hard way. And if I can help somebody else not to go through what I went through, why not?
Amazing. Amazing.
Why not?
That's
But what is
selfless.
so interesting, I will sit here and say all these things.
Hmm.
They will go and do the exact opposite.
Opposites.
They will get into a lot of problems.
They
Then they
come
will
back.
come by and say, "Oh, Christine, you know, my mom in my $10,000, my brother in my $50,000, you know." And I say, "What do you want me to do?" I sat there, I wasted my time
Time and told you everything.
and told you. I even went as far, Glennis, I do handle people project and I never touch their money. That's another thing I want to put out there. People can do your work and don't have to touch your money. I don't touch people money and I do their stuff from beginning to end.
Yes.
How do I work without touching people money? It's simple.
Oh, yes. Please explain now.
It's very simple. I am not your personal accountant to be handling your cash. I am your project supervisor or whatever you hire me to do. If you are building a house or you need materials, I connect you to the vendors. You transfer your money directly to the vendors and I make sure your material gets delivered to your site. Why do I have to handle your money for that? And I tell people all the time, then they will still do it. And they'll come back, "Oh, mama, in my tech." I said, "So what do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have, for those of you who watching me, anybody on this ground that is not a company that is bonded and insured, and they're doing any project for you, and you sending money by saying when you're looking for your own trouble, you're looking for your trouble.
All right.
Anybody that has integrity and know what they're doing should not have you wiring money directly to them for no reason. No reason. Now, there are times that some of the things people need that I'm doing for them, I can't find it in the store, and maybe I have to go on the sidewalk. I will pay for it, but I will always ask that sidewalk person, whatever, to put their name, their number, and give me a receipt. And I say, "This is where I got it from. I got it on the sidewalk, they ain't got receipt. So I use my own money." But if it's a store, and now most of the stores are one-stop shop. You can get sand from the sand store, crush rock from the sand store, nail from the sand store, cement from the sand store, zinc. So please, if you're watching me, please don't send your money to your relative, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your auntie, your uncle, your in-law, your ex to do anything for you. Now, on the other side, there are some established construction companies here that I know of personally that are bonded, they are insured, and they can pre-finance the work. I can recommend those. They will start your project, Glenda, from beginning to end and give you your key.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to talk a little bit about this some more. And then how is the payment done?
Usually they may ask for a percentage of the payment. Let's say if your total project is 75,000, right? They may say, "Okay, we need you to put 30% down of the cost," but usually it's the same collateral thing. You have to hand the
Give them
deed
something.
over, sign it. They will finish everything. You pay them money and they hand it back.
Amazing. Amazing. We've
Yeah,
learned a
but they will
lot.
do it from beginning to end and hand you your keys.
Okay.
This is
That's good
amazing.
to know.
Great information.
Yeah.
This has been a very impactful show. I know we're over the 1 hour mark, but we want to talk a little bit about traditional marriage.
Lord
People get
Jesus, my chica lewa.
let me sit up. Eva, if there's a Eva's topic, I'm gonna let her guide
Let
you
me
through
sit
this.
up.
I'm gonna let Eva take over this traditional marriage topic. People
That
getting
topic catch
married
your heart,
in
you that
Liberia.
topic catch your heart, eh?
But
No,
when I
that
hack on a traditional marriage thing, I know.
I just want Eva to take care of it because there have been once or twice that she made post about traditional marriage, and so I
Whoa.
want us to talk about it. People getting married in traditionally, leaving from there and going getting married in a church, not really recognizing that they've already was married traditionally, so there's no point in which one is recognized in Liberia first. So tell us a little bit about traditional marriage.
Okay. There was a post that I shared a while ago, but it was from the former Chief Justice, Gloria Musu Scott,
Yes.
right? The one who just lost her daughter.
Oh, yes. I
Yes.
remember that
She
post.
had educated the public about traditional marriages. And I will find that post and I will send it to you so you can repost. The woman has advised and posted, but people don't seem to be listening.
Yes.
We all have seen somebody either on the talk show or somewhere explaining how she married a man, then he lied to her and came and married somebody else. We all have heard those stories, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Technically, that man not doing anything wrong. When you marry traditionally, you are marrying under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and you are married under our culture that recognizes polygamy. Okay,
So Liberia
so when you
recognizes polygamy.
under the tradition,
The traditional.
Yes. Okay.
we have the constitution and we have the tradition. Under the constitution is one man, one wife. Under tradition is one man, many wives.
Sure.
Okay, so when you
I'll be in my church with my church gown on.
My chica lewa.
my chica lewa. If you notice, most of the people that come from the States, I'm talking to my sisters now. When you come here to get married, and that man just pushing you, I know a lot of y'all won't feel the culture and all of that. But when that man keep pushing you for that traditional marriage, says, pause.
Take a break.
Take a breather. Breathe. When you get married traditionally, the traditional marriages come just like the church marriages with certificates that are signed. When you get married traditionally, and you go through the thing with the quota and paying the bride price and paying the dowry, honey, you are married. And when you sign that traditional certificate, you're married already. But you're also saying it's okay for the husband to marry again. So when you have married traditionally and signed a certificate, then you get her and go put on white dress and go to the church, that is not the marriage that is recognized.
Yes, no.
It's the first one. It's the first one. So that white dress you're wearing are your own. The marriage recognizes the one
Your dash.
This in the tradition.
Yeah, someone is
And
saying,
you know,
someone is
go
saying,
ahead.
don't be obsessed with the patronage of the traditional. Yes,
it's serious business.
That a dressing, I think that a dressing business, all the African clothes they can wear, they find African clothes.
Or that they find African clothes. Okay. Now on the
Someone
flip
is saying,
side,
I don't think this person.
do,
Hold on, Christiana, hold on. I don't think this person, you understand what Christiana is saying. You say traditional. Well, they may understand. They're saying there's no point in doing. I'm going to say traditional marriage is a waste of time. And I think what I'm hearing
it's not.
you say, it's not a waste of time.
Marriage.
But if you marry traditional, what you're signing on to is that yes, your husband can have more wives.
But then I waste of time to me.
What? A waste of time.
What you gonna get myself stressed for? I know that I'm what I want.
But most of them don't know that though. They don't.
Yes.
They
Yes.
don't. All they know they are having a beautiful traditional wedding. That's all they know. That's all they know. If you do a symbolic traditional wedding, you're fine. But if you do the whole 9 yard, signing everything, honey, you're married. Don't waste your money to the church again. That's not the one. That's not the marriage that is recognized. It's the traditional one. Then you need to ignore the traditional one to go get married in the church.
Yes.
If you marry on Monday and sign a wedding certificate and marry on Tuesday and marry on Wednesday, the only one that the law recognizes is the one you did the first one.
Traditional. So
while it's beautiful and everything, if I want to do that, Glennon, I'm going to get married in the church first, sign all that certificate, then I just do the symbolic traditional one.
Yes.
I wear the clothes, I do everything, but I'm not going to sign and do
Yeah, and
anything.
I
So go
think
to the church first.
I think it's a
Go to the
good,
court, go to the church first before you do the
because
second one, not the other way around.
because if you're not interested, like Eva says, a waste of time, you're not interested in your husband having many wives,
But
then
most
just
of them
do it
don't
as
even know that's what it means.
Yeah,
That's a sad
just do
part.
it.
But
I
the
think
guys know what it means.
yes. And I think that was the perspective that Justice Scott explained, that people are getting involved in these traditional marriages and they're not understanding that. Because like Christiana was saying, the men will know. They probably do know, because this is the thing now, right? You get married traditionally in Liberia, and then you go get married in the church, and then you have to leave Liberia and come to the States, and then the next month you have your husband has taken another wife. He wouldn't be wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
He wouldn't be wrong.
Especially Glennis, and you taking too long to file the main visa and his people. You will find somebody who can do it faster.
Okay. Yeah.
But I want to say, I mean,
woman can't talk all. Woman
my
can't talk all.
chica lewa, woman can't talk all.
My chica lewa, woman can't talk all. Woman can't talk all.
We
And
learned
all
a
jokes
lot.
aside, you know what's so sad? Not all of these guys, but most of those guys who are only out there to hustle for a better life and to get out of here, they understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as those girls land, boom, straight to traditional wedding. She start doing paperwork. She doing. As soon as he see she getting some hiccups, he already got somebody else in the box again talking.
All right.
Yes.
We just saw do you remember the latest one that was trending on all the talk shows where she said they got married another girl from Australia?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember that.
But that was a traditional wedding she did.
Oh,
So my people, sometimes some of these things, if you don't know about it, don't be carried away for that somebody saying the hustle is real. The hustle indeed is
real. The hustle is real.
The hustle is real. Some of these people that know these things yes, like Christiana is saying, wear the African clothes, do the ceremony, but you don't have to sign the paper and then consent to your husband having multiple wives. And then when people don't understand, this is the thing.
Consent.
Yeah, you consenting. You consenting to your husband having multiple wives. And then when you hear, you leave him there and you come and hear he has another wife. And then people who don't understand, they start saying, oh, he married here, he married there. But that man got the legal papers.
Correct.
He has the papers to do that. Maybe some women want their husband to have multiple wives. That's why they do both ceremony. I don't know. Who knows?
No, I don't think they know, Glennis. A lot of people don't know. They don't know. They don't understand. They don't understand. And these guys are very smart, though. They know exactly what it means.
Wow.
They know what it means.
They know the system.
Yeah, they know what it means. There's no negative connotation on the man, though. Only the woman suffers under the traditional marriage, not the man.
But the man got your other Jew, what he will come and suffer.
Yeah.
He doesn't suffer anything. But thank you.
So most of the time when you see our sisters in the diaspora say, oh, that man ungrateful, just imagine, and he left me, you are married to persist. You marry under the internal affairs, which is the culture. You marry under the traditional way. He can do that. He's not doing nothing wrong. That man just need a visa faster and you're not moving fast enough.
You're not moving fast enough for you wasting
You're
his
not moving
time.
fast enough.
Oh
That
my
man need to get
goodness.
out of here. You doing nyaka nyaka. The man need to move. You're not
Oh,
fast enough. He gotta
but
get out of that girl.
we want to say, Eva, anything to add?
No, it's been a very informative show. We gotta
Yeah,
have you come back. We have to
yeah.
talk. There's much
Most
more to be
definitely. Most
Yes,
definitely.
we gotta come and talk about other stuff, the gossiping stuff. Because of course this is GeesBeeCee. We have to come talk about other things, but we're excited. We've learned a lot, Christiana, and I want to make an advertisement here. This woman internet that she has is perfect.
Okay,
Mhm.
let me talk about my other people now.
Hold on,
Let
you
me tell you
better
who
go
I'm
and
using and why I'm using
wait
them.
now, hold on. Let me put it in. You better go rent Eagle Learning's apartment so you can have 24 hours electricity. Have you seen we've had so many guests on here from Liberia that constantly go off. Have you seen this woman has been on this show for an hour and 18 minutes? And not one did we hear a flicker, right, Eva?
No,
You better go. You better get in contact with this Jew. Chica
the
Lewa
picture
know her
is
stuff.
clear.
Ah,
It's
Chicago.
pristine.
Yes.
By the way,
Throughout.
I'm using Orange, the other GSM company. I worked with them for 5 years. I was the project manager for Orange Liberia.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm using the Wi-Fi. I use everything Orange because I work for them. So my
Woo.
Wi-Fi, my internet, everything is Orange. And
This
yes,
is
it's very
amazing.
stable.
So there goes another advertisement. We've had a lot of advertisement here. One for International Bank, now for Orange. Okay,
Orange,
Senna, thank
yeah.
you. Any last comments? We really had a good time. We thank
Sure,
you that you could take off your time to come and talk to us.
sure.
Indeed, we have learned. We have learned. I think you've put us at ease about some topics in Liberia and some things. If we should decide to venture in, you've put some. You've allowed us to understand it even better. Thank you
Yes.
so
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah.
For your viewers that are watching, I don't purport myself to be a subject matter expert on everything Liberia or everything that's happening here. You know, I don't know everything or know how everything works. But the only thing I can say, I'm here on the ground. I'm between both worlds. I'm between. By the time you look on 2 weeks from now, you will see my background will be snow. That may I go on.
Yeah.
So, but the only thing I can tell you guys, I'm not speaking from a third person point of view. I'm living the reality. I'm here amongst it. So that's why I'm able to speak on it. Even if you reach out to me, if I don't have all the answers, I always try to find the answer from somebody else who may know the answer to the question you were asking. Don't feel shy to call me, but please don't call me and say, "Oh, you know, I just thinking about whether you know." Greatest all laughing.
Because
Please
I
call
think
me and
your response even was a nonsense.
not Astrid. Please call me for something substantial because you're taking up my time. Don't
Mhm.
call me to just athlete chit chat and you just thinking about, oh, I wonder if I know. If you call me and say, look, this is what I decided to do, you think it will work in like, bro, what? Then I know you can, but don't call me with a blank slate and wanting me to think for you and you still say, oh, I wonder if I'm gonna do this, I wonder if I'm gonna do that. But other than that, I'm available, guys. Eagles Learning is here. And one thing I want to say is thank you to especially the diaspora. You guys have held me down for the last 11 years. And I always say if it wasn't for the diaspora and Liberians, I won't have a business. When people say Liberians don't support, I disagree. I disagree because it's Liberians who are supporting me. It's not Chinese or Italians. It's Liberians, and especially Liberians from the diaspora. If it wasn't for Liberians, I wouldn't be here. Liberians put up with me. They come. They some of them they are patient. Oh, Christy, don't worry about it. We know what you're going through. Of course, I get the other kind of thing too, but you know, they come, and especially when they come when I explain it, I say, look, if you need anything, no matter what time of the night, call me. You know, customer service and Liberia don't go together. Most of them will understand. You know, but Liberians have been so patient. They have been so patient with me. A lot of them got choices. Most of the people that come to me, Glenda, they have beautiful homes, mansions. But most of them come here because they say they love the peace and the quiet and security of it. And some of them just come because they say we follow you on social media and we wanted to patronize your business. But it's not like they don't have homes.
Thank you,
But I just
Christine. I
want to
want to
say
read.
thank you.
Thank you so much. We had a good time. I wanted to read this last comment before you leave. The woman said, but you read an apple. But there are plenty of women will not be sleeping today tonight because there's other news, not good news.
Everybody come and start checking their traditional
Better be checking it. Go
certificate.
do it. In short, go if you want your husband to have one wife, go to
Go
the
to the church, go to the court.
Go to the church, go
And sign your
Go to the
paper.
court.
Go to the court, sign the paper, but don't go do traditional and sign paper then go church. I mean, you sign that paper, you say, yes, honey, you can have two wives. And then in there, you be crying, or when you leave in there, and kind you hear the man out here different wedding, you're carrying the man you all around, but you told him that he
then
could
you
have
on every talk show crying, yeah.
Thank you, Christine. We've had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. We will definitely get you back on here because we want to talk about exercise. We want to talk about your work with the blind. I mean, we didn't even touch that. You've done a lot of work with the blind children in Liberia. That one of our blind citizens of Liberia is now being assisted through your intervention. So we'll find another time that we'll get you back on so we can talk some more.
But when you need to get me by, you might take care of my course.
Definitely.
If you take care of my course, you text me and say, don't come. And I'm coming.
Well, what she would say, she would say so. All right, Christine.
My relative, yeah.
I know that you were relative, yeah. I got to miss your relative. But thank you, Christine. We had a good time. The audience too love you. They've been interactive from start to finish. We appreciate you. Appreciate all that you've done. We will definitely be bringing you back because this is not all that you do. There is a humanitarian side to you that we want to get involved in. And also want to talk about the loving side, man, Chica Lewa. Have a good
man, Chica Lewa. You want for my door killer also? Man, Chica Lewa.
All right, Mama. Thank you so much.
You want for me in situation, you want woman to
talk off.
You want woman to take and talk off.
All right, Christine, bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so honored. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, that was amazing. Amazing.
Yes. Learned a lot today.
Oh my God, Eva, we learned a lot. We have had some shows, but today's show was just wonderful. We've learned a lot. We learned about banking. We learned about her teaching. We learned about her being an instructor at the University of Liberia, being the controller at the African Methodist Episcopal University, working for Orange. Now she has her own business. She talked about owning land in Liberia. She talked about opening a bank account in Liberia. You name it. And there's still a lot more that we didn't get to talk about. We didn't talk about her humanitarian side, how she works with the kids, the blind kids, also how she works with artists. She's been able to work with quite a few artists in Liberia. And then also relationship. And she's a huge trainer, exercise woman. This woman goes to the gym constantly. So we will definitely be bringing her back in the near future. My May's quote today, the one I picked up is, when you are lost and need direction in life, who do you think of first? That's a lot. When you are lost and need direction in life. And I almost want to say, yes, of course, you think about God and all of that, but who is that fix? Do you have somebody that when you need assistance that you can call upon, like without a doubt, if I call her or if I call him, I know he's going to come or I know she's going to come. If you don't have that one person, from Mom May's quote, I want to encourage you. We all need somebody who will have our back and stand in the gap for
All the
us.
time. Yep.
So please, 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 please. Thank you, Tomalin. Thank you, Letty, for watching. Thank you, Florence, Agnes, Claudette. Next week's guest, don't go. Stay here. I want you all to see this guest. We're so amazingly proud. We're excited. This is a young CPA. He will probably be our second youngest guest on this show. We're so happy that we're going to be interviewing. I'm also excited. I'm going to be a part of a group of women interviewing this young man. He's a CPA. He lives in Canada, and he is none other but Mr. Travis Funderson.
Mm-hmm.
Travis will be here. He's a chartered public professional accountant, CPA. He also has a master's. This man knows a lot of book, this young man. A lot of book. We will be talking about him. We want you, if you have your children, please encourage them to come and watch this show and hear Travis talking about his journey so far. I think he's 23 years old. 23 or 24 years old, and this guy is already a CPA. Smart young man, and we're looking forward to talking to him about his journey, where he is in life, why did he decide to do accounting, and how can he motivate young people to stay focused. So it's an exciting thing when you see young people that are doing great, and they've aspired to become somebody. The boy even married, he now got plenty of money he making already. So we're looking forward. I know his parents, they're so amazing people. I know they'll be proud. I know they will be watching. We want to encourage you to tune in next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yes. We will be talking and he will be making history. He will probably be the first young CPA on GeesBeeCee Women with Words. So we're looking forward to talking to Travis Funderson next week. If you have questions, if you're an accountant out there and you want to send us questions, because me, I did accounting, but a long time. I know nothing about accounting again.
I don't even know about it.
But if we know how to ask the accounting question, we're asking about life. We're asking about the choices you make. We're asking about being a young man and being successful and being focused. And that with all of the challenges in life, to look at where he is today. So, and if you're out there, I don't know him to be married. If you're out there, you have a young, beautiful daughter, you want him to come and sit and watch him, please, I'm going to tell my daughters also to be watching because they're the same age group. Yes, they will kill me.
We will bring him back to do a love connection show for him.
So yes. So let me see who else is here. Okay, yeah. So Travis will be here next week. Yes. And Travis Funderson is the son of, Tamala, you're right, is the son of George and Florence Funderson, and they live.
His mama's here.
Yes, live in Canada. So I cannot wait. That is my instructor's son. That man taught me economics and accounting at LU. Smart people too. Very much. I don't want to keep talking, but just an exemplary couple. Yes. So tune in next week. If you got a young daughter and they ain't get no boyfriend, you want them to come listen to Travis.
Yes. Take notes.
Travis, yes, tune in. So, folks, we thank you for sticking with us. We're looking forward to a pleasant week. This weekend we will be in DC, right, Eva?
I am ready.
We are set. We are ready. We'll be in DC. We'll be there with everybody else. We'll be there supporting Rodney Sear, the official book launch. We will be there. We'll be standing by. Some of us have done some background work, but we will be standing by hand and foot with Agatha, the planner of the year.
Yes.
And to be here, we're so extremely proud of what she's done and all the work. It's not a lot. It's not easy to plan occasions, and this will be the
Oh,
second
yes.
one. And we're looking forward. So I'm sorry if you didn't get your ticket, you're out of luck. You can wait until they go Liberia or when they have the New York or the Minnesota show, and then you can follow them there. But this DC one, you see my hairdo already on the side. I read it. All right, Eva. Good show.
Be scrappy in my yellow. I know. Yellow. You will see me from all the way.
We're gonna show up. GBC will be there. Every member of this GBC crew will be there supporting Rodney and supporting Agatha, our girl, for all that she's done. So the entire crew, even Black Santa is supposed to be coming. Let me put it supposed to there.
He better.
The entire GBC team, if you have not met us before, you're going to be meeting us. We will be there. We will be there supporting our brother Rodney here, but also appreciating him for the work he's done. It's a celebration of his life. Come and hear about the book, hear about what motivated him to write about George Weah. He's going to be interviewed by a renowned columnist in American news. So come on, folks. We're going to have a good time. You know, y'all will see us once we're there. We got camera. Y'all will full up this for you. He was you were interviewed already ready. You know her makeup is going to be out of this world already. So, folks, until next week, Thursday, you'll have a pleasant week. We'll see you all next week, Thursday. Want to make sure you all come and welcome Travis and just be supportive to him for all that he's done, because we're so proud of our guest next week. Bye-bye.